Hey. Hope everything's going swimmingly. About a couple of weeks out now from Natlan. Yeah, we're getting out of Fontaine. It was pretty cool. It had a good story. It's had amazing characters. Fontaine's been great to us. And, it's kind of funny. Back when swimming was announced, I wasn't particularly taken to the idea. But it turned out to be one of those things where it becomes so ingrained into the experience that the experience feels naked without it. It didn't take long for swimming in other regions outside of Fontaine to feel wrong. Uninspired, The deeps of Fontaine are so gorgeous and expansive that it's just hard to imagine it not being there now. Was it something I was ever particularly excited for? Nah. Not before swimming released, and honestly, not even now. It's not that I find the waters exciting now, but they've grown on me as an expected part of the game, an expected feature. And now it's like, dude, I kinda don't want this to go away. Sure, I wasn't mind blown about it when it was first revealed, and sure, I wouldn't say I'm even excited about it today, but it's just, I don't know. It's like a Christmas present you open up and it turns out to be some socks or footies or something. And you're like, okay, not really just thrilled with these, but it's fine, I guess. Know what I mean? And so you wear them and you just kind of don't even think about it, but then one day you get ready to put them on and you can't find them. And suddenly you're like, wait, where are they? Where are my socks? And all of a sudden it just feels bad not to have them. That's the feeling I get when just thinking about Fontaine coming to a close and swimming becoming a thing of the past. If we're to think about what every region before has done, each one has been transformative to the game in a forward-moving way. Mondstadt and Liyue were transformative by default, as they were the first regions of the game. We went from not having a game at all to actually having a game. You don't get much more transformative than that. But then we got Inazuma. Now, Inazuma didn't really transform anything about the game per se, especially in comparison to Sumeru. But being the first new region to the game, it only had one job to do. It just needed to expand and improve upon the systems that were already there, and give them some structure. It is an abstract way to see it, but Inazuma standardized several systems in the game going forward to this day, such as sigil offering systems like the Sacred Sakura, the standardized statues of 7 holding shrine keys and traveler constellations, and delayed sigil shops until reaching high enough levels in the offering systems. It also standardized fast travel mechanisms for getting across the landscapes. It works differently in each following region, but Inazuma was the first to really get it down to a science. And yeah, it also standardized the reputation systems, removing unnecessary steps in Mondstadt and Liyue bounties. We've seen the Inazuma approach to so many systems taken forward in each new region. The ideas in Mondstadt and Liyue were kind of all over the place, but they got it together here and created a gold standard. And for that, I think it's fair to say that Inazuma's standardizations were transformative to the game. Again, it's abstract, but the game has modeled regions like that ever since. It's a structure we can reliably look forward to in the following regions. And since Inazuma was the first new nation, that was fine. Players still had enough attention to the game where they didn't need something completely new to keep their attention. Of course, that did begin to change around the 3rd year, but Sumeru was vastly transformative because Dendro released. Enough said, and it's obvious what it permanently added to the game, added new reactions. And this was just a welcome addition to the game because it was going into the 3rd year. Inazuma could get by on just making a better game, but by Sumeru we needed something new to the gameplay itself. And that's exactly what we got with Dendro. It was new, it was fresh, and it was forward moving to this day, because we still have Dendro in the game. When I say forward moving, I mean the ideas from a region persist as we move forward. Mondstadt and Liyue gave us a game. We still have a game. Inazuma standardized many systems including statues, sigil offerings, sigil shops, reputation, and fast traversal systems in the open world. We still use these standards today. Sumeru gave us Dendro, and we have taken that to the future as well. It's here to stay. I feel like swimming could have been that thing for Fontaine, that one game-changing thing that we could hold on to as we move forward. It's so transformative to the gameplay. But while transformative, it isn't forward-moving like these other systems added in the game's history. The difference between swimming and the previously mentioned things is that, even as we go into Natlan, their ideas will persist. We can look forward to the things like sigil offerings and quick traversals and reputation systems based on Inazuma's patterns. Thanks, Inazuma. We'll still be using Dendro reactions and new Dendro characters. Thanks, Sumeru. But what are we taking forward from Fontaine? I can tell you what we're not taking: swimming. That's gone. The Numa and Oisa systems too, but that wasn't nearly as transformative as swimming. And sure, some might look at improvements during Fontaine cycles such as higher resin cap and new in-game modes, and they may say, well, aren't these permanently transformative? We'll have these going into Natlan. They don't feel like Fontaine improvements and additions as much as they do just general improvements and additions though. Not to mention they were long overdue anyway, let's be real. But swimming was new, it was fresh, and it could have been that macro change to the game that fundamentally altered our game experience. Yeah, I know, I get it. Swimming is special in Fontaine for actual story and lore reasons. You don't gotta tell me. I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense that we're not taking swimming forward, but that doesn't mean it's not kind of bittersweet. There's this great big idea that was created, and quite beautifully I'll say, and it's just gonna be irrelevant now. I think that's the part that really tugs at me. It's just gonna be irrelevant. This is all just gonna be here and nothing's gonna be going on in it. All the diving and exploring and just the experience itself is gonna become a big ol' nothing. Which, that's a lot of the game in general. I mean, do you need to walk down the shores of Yashiri Island today? Doubtful. It's just as irrelevant as what swimming will be, but swimming feels even worse to let fade into obscurity. It's a whole new system that was created. See what I'm saying? This whole past year I've spent in these waves, the game is expecting me to just be like, alright, that was fun, peace out. And like, no, that just makes me sad. But that might just be a me thing. Some people might be completely over swimming and others maybe hate it altogether. So I'm only speaking for myself, I guess. And I mean, it's like I said earlier, even I'm over swimming, I guess. I mean, it's not like I just log on to Genshin and just jump into the water and just swim for hours. Heck, I might not jump into water at all if my dailies don't require me to. Just swimming feels too well done and too well thought out for me to feel neutral about not having to ever do it again. I'm never super excited to do it, but it's there giving the game some depth all the same. Pun absolutely intended. I don't wear my warm and cozy socks from Christmas every day, but when I do want them, it's just nice knowing they're there. Maybe I'm just a sentimental gamer. It's just how I feel about systems that cease to be though. I did a discussion about this topic a while ago called Revitalizing Abandoned Systems. And well, yeah, according to the name, you can very well figure out the subject. There are some systems in this game that we just don't interact with anymore. For instance, once you clean up reputation for a region, it becomes much less engaging. Swimming is probably something I'll have to add to that list retroactively when it's dead in the water too. I know Natlan is going to introduce new things to us too, and that's fine. The Saurians look pretty cool, and hey, I'd say I may be more interested in those than what I was swimming before swimming released. Or at the very least, I'm no less interested, but part of me is feeling cautious about it. Why? Not because I don't think I'll enjoy the Saurians, but because after we're done with natlan, they're very likely to become things of the past as well. And that's going to be bittersweet all the same. I'm getting sad about it before we even start playing as them. The Fontaine chapter is closing. It had to one day. But I just wish we were taking something forward with us that will augment the future experience, other than our new Fontaine characters, that is. And swimming just feels so right in this game, so naturally, intuitively, and like, obviously right. You know what I mean? Almost as if it was always here. It just feels weird thinking about the game without it suddenly. But I'm not the developer, I'm no producer, I ain't the director, I'm just a player. I've enjoyed swimming in Fontaine, and hopefully they bring us back in the future for some reason. Or maybe even, expand on Fontaine's waters themselves. You never know. But anyway, I've been rambling about this enough, but I do wonder if anyone else feels the same way. Or differently. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. I'm always genuinely curious to see what others' takes are. But with that, have a good day, treat yourself kindly, get some sun, and stay hydrated. 'Cause you've only got a couple of weeks.